Welcome to session 3 of Field of Awareness, and in this session today we will be exploring some Tibetan sun salutations as well as a visual meditation, also known as like a guided or imagery meditation towards the end of class. And you'll definitely need blocks, blanket, maybe even a bolster. I don't really have plans to use a bolster, but if you think that you might need one, go ahead and grab it. Grab anything that you need for class today. And we'll begin either in a kneeling seated shape or a child's pose. So if you choose to explore this kneeling shape, you might even place a block back behind you so that your weight is supported. It kind of takes some of the pressure off of your knees. And as always in this class, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do with your body. Everything is your choice. And so if coming into this kneeling shape is not where your body wants to be today, you do not have to force it. Same goes for anything in this class. So you might explore this shape. You might explore child's pose, which would be allowing the knees to go a little bit wider than hip distance. Toes touch back behind you. Hips can sit back toward the heels. Maybe you walk your hands forward, resting your forehead on the mat, or you could always turn your head to one side, keeping your gaze open or closing the gaze if that's what you prefer. And if there's any other shape other than these two options that you prefer to start in, you can always choose one of those. It's always your choice. Everything is an invitation. So choosing any starting shape you'd like to be in, taking a moment to arrive and set up. Beginning to notice any sounds around you. Whether your eyes are open or closed, it's your choice. But tuning into our sense of sound. Just becoming aware and then drawing your sense of sound a little bit closer to your own body. Perhaps coming even closer until you arrive within the walls of your own body, maybe hearing your own breath, maybe tuning into the feeling or the sound of your own heartbeat. And then scanning through your body in your own way, your own timing, feeling and noticing anything that is present for you in this moment. And that might even go beyond the physical and checking in with your heart space. How's your heart today? Staying here for another breath or two. With your next exhale, or whenever you decide to, you might take a deeper exhale out of your body, releasing just a little bit more air than you normally would. Perhaps following that exhale with a deep breath in and out. Option to take another cleansing breath in and out if you feel called to it. and adding any small movement into your body that you see fit. That can be gently rocking from side to side, maybe rolling your head from side to side, or moving through your shoulders. Anything goes here as we just begin to invite our bodies into some gentle movement. And in this class today, I offer you an affirmation that might be helpful, or you could always choose to work with your own. And it is, I am not this next thought. I am the field of awareness this next thought passes through. And if it's helpful to even break it up into like half and half, it could just be, I am not this next thought. I am not this next thought. I am the field of awareness this next thought passes through. I am the field of awareness this next thought passes through. So if you'd like to work with this affirmation, you can. If you'd like to create your own, you are more than welcome, or even take this affirmation and kind of break it down and make it your own, adjust it to your liking. And as we begin our sequence, begin our movement, for this first round of sun salutations, we'll be moving a little bit more slowly, allowing our bodies time to kind of open up and feel our way through them. And then we'll be moving one breath per movement, or rather, you will have the opportunity and the option to move one breath per movement, because you can always choose to go faster or slower than what I'm doing. So if you are in child's pose, you might begin to walk yourself up, meeting me in this kneeling seat. If you have a block or a bolster underneath you, you might move it out of the way. And we'll start here. We're not going to be here very long. This is just a start. Taking one breath in and out. Inhaling. Arms come up, and maybe you even press on up to your knees, adjusting your stance as needed here. I like my knees to be hip distance apart. And as you reach on up for this first one, you might just take a moment, maybe roll through the wrists, maybe lean side to side a little bit. And then another inhale here. And then as you exhale, you might start to lower the hands down to the earth, and I'll meet you in a tabletop shape. So adjusting your stance as needed. And we'll take a few cat-cows here to warm up our spines. So you might start to move organically, or if you like the rhythm of the cat-cows, you might simply inhale and allow your spine to drop down toward your mat. Perhaps you take your gaze forward as you open up through the heart space. Tailbone can flip out behind you. And then as you exhale, you could curl your spine up towards the ceiling as your tailbone and chin tuck toward one another. So option to continue just like this, in this rhythmic cat-cow. And another option is to create a different, similar but different rhythm by tucking your toes back behind you. And then inhaling, same thing here, dropping your spine, dropping your abdomen down towards the earth, and then sending your hips back toward your heels. And then as you exhale, starting to curl your spine and rock back forward. Inhale to drop the spine and stomach down towards the floor. Shift your hips back towards the heels. And then exhale, shifting forward, curling through your spine. So 2 options. Cat-cow the first way or cat-cow the second way. Third option is anything you want, which is always an option. And we'll be here for the next 2 to 3 rounds of breath. Seeing if you can continue to stay with your breath and your body throughout this whole class. Anytime your mind wanders away from your breath or your body, that's okay. There's no failure there. It is the nature of the mind to wander. But as we learned in last week's class, the mind is in 2 states. It's either in a state of attention/awareness or distraction. And so can our bodies and our breaths be our focus, be our attention today? And as you start to find completion here in this cat-cow, you might slowly find your way back to center, taking your time. And breathing in here, you might begin to draw your right foot up and forward. And I'll meet you in a low lunge. And if you need to kind of inch your foot forward, maybe grab a hold of it with your right hand, help it up, that's all welcome. You absolutely can. And here there's a good opportunity, a good option to use your blocks, especially because this is our very first low lunge. We're just now warming up, so take space and time here to feel into your body. Add some organic movement if you want it. Maybe moving the hips a little bit, adjusting your stance. If having a blanket underneath your knees would be helpful, please go ahead and do that to add some support, some stability there. Option 2, take a half splits here by rocking back and lengthening through your front leg. You could allow your toes to come up off of the mat. Or anything else goes here. We'll be here for the next 4 rounds of breath. Tuning into your body. Where are you feeling an increase in sensation? Can you search through your body and locate that sensation that you're feeling? One more breath in and out. The next time your right knee, your front foot, front leg is bent and you're in your lunge, you could begin to bring your hands away from the floor if you want to. So option 1 is to keep your hands connected to the blocks. Option 2 is to inhale and reach on up. Still in a low lunge, but our hands are just lifted. Breathing in here and out. One more breath. Maybe as you breathe in, your spine floats up towards the sky. What does that feel like? And then exhale to lower down, only if you're ready to. Hands meet the blocks or the floor. And we'll send our right foot back as we end up here, back into our child's pose. Passing through and drawing ourselves back up into this kneeling stance, this kneeling seat. Taking a moment. And then we'll do it all on the other side. When you're ready, inhaling, reaching the arms up, lifting up onto the knees. And then an exhale, hands can come down to the earth. An inhale, your left foot can step forward. And blocks or no blocks here, it's up to you. And we'll again take our time to feel into this stance, adjusting anything that's calling to you. Feeling into your body, really being present with what's coming up. Option to lengthen through your left leg, maybe allowing your left toes to leave the floor. You could pause here, or you could continue rocking in and out of it between a lunge and this half splits, or any other organic movement that calls to you here. And we'll be here for the next 3 or 4 rounds of breath, just allowing our bodies a chance to ease into this movement. Two more breaths. Last one. And the next time you end up in a low lunge, hands can be on the blocks or the floor as we stabilize ourselves and send our left foot back, passing through our child's pose and lifting on up into our kneeling seated stance or seat. Breathing here for just a couple breaths. So we'll be changing up the pace a little bit. However, you always reserve the right to do what you need to do for your body. And that means that if moving one breath per movement is not welcome for you today and you want to spend more time in each shape, please do. You don't have to move at my pace. You can move at your pace. I'll be going 1 breath per movement, and we're going to take a couple rounds on each side. And again, you reserve the right to do what you need to do for your body. So when you're ready, we'll start in this kneeling stance. Exhaling out. Breathing in and reaching up. Exhale. Hands can come down to the floor. Inhale. Right foot steps forward for a low lunge. Blocks or no blocks. And an exhale here. Inhale. Option to keep your hands there or reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lengthen through your right leg, peeling the right toes up, half splits. And exhale, coming back forward into our low lunge. Hands come to the floor. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, passing through our child's pose. And meeting back in our seated stance. 1 breath in between. With your next inhale, or when you're ready to, reaching up. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Inhale, left foot comes forward. And exhale here. Option to inhale and reach up with your arms or keep your hands planted. Exhale, hands come back down to the earth. Option for half splits because you could stay in low lunge. So inhale, lengthen through your front leg. And exhale, lunge back forward. Inhale, send your left foot back. Exhale, momentarily in child's pose as we peel ourselves up. One breath in between, feeling your body. Can you bring all of your awareness into your breath and your body? We'll continue moving here if you're ready. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, right leg comes forward, low lunge. Exhale here. Option 2, inhale and lift your arms up. And exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lengthen through your right leg if you want to take the half splits because you don't have to. And then exhale to lunge back forward. This time we're going to add on something here. Left hand plants on the floor. Inhale, option to peel your right shoulder back and reach your right hand up towards the earth for a twist. And then exhale to release your right hand down to the floor. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, pass through your child's pose. As we come on up, back into our seated shape. One breath in between. Continuing to move when you're ready. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Hands come to the mat. Inhaling, left foot steps forward. Exhale, pause here. Your choice if you want to inhale and lift your arms up. And then exhale to lower the hands down. Inhale, option for half splits or stay in low lunge. Exhale to come back into low lunge. Right hand plants on the floor or a block. Inhale, option to peel your left shoulder back and reach your left hand up towards the sky for a twist. Exhale, left hand releases down to the floor. Inhale, left foot steps back. Exhale, pass through our child's pose. And I'll meet you back in our seat. You might join me for one more round on each side, continuing to move at your own pace. Breathing in and reaching up. And exhale, hands can come down to the mat. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Exhale here. Option to inhale and reach up with your arms and your hands. Exhale to lower down here. Inhale, your choice if you'd like to take the half splits, lengthening through your front leg. And exhale to come back forward. Left hand plants on the floor. Maybe you join me for a twist as we inhale, peel our right shoulders back, reaching up. And exhale, releasing whenever you're ready. Right hand can come back down to the earth. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, passing through our child's pose. Kneading back in our seat. This will be our last round on our left side as we inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, your left foot comes forward. Exhale here. Option to inhale and lift up. And exhale to settle back down. Inhale, if you want to take the half splits, lengthening through your left leg. And an exhale to come back forward. Low lunge. Right hand plants. Inhale to twist if you'd like to take it. Left shoulder back. Left hand reaches up. And an exhale to release your hand down to the floor when you're ready. Inhale, your left leg goes back. And exhale to pass through child's pose and meet right back in our kneeling stance, or stay in child's pose if you don't want to take the kneeling stance. Your choice. So child's pose, or I'll meet you here, resting on the shins, and just pause. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. Noticing where your mind goes when your body becomes still. Has it wandered away from your body or your breath? Can you bring your awareness back? Perhaps just resting your awareness on your breath, watching it move in and out. One more breath here. Option to join me lying on our stomachs, or if lying on your stomach is not something that you want to do today in this practice, you could stay in child's pose. And maybe you simply rest here for a moment and allow your body to adjust to this shape. You could stay here if this is serving you. Or at any point that you'd like to take a quad stretch and explore that sensation, you might pick one leg. I'll start with my right leg, but it doesn't matter which one you start with. You can choose either one. I'm going to draw my right heel toward me, toward my right glute, and reaching back with my same side hand, so my right hand. And just holding on to my right ankle. So a couple choices here. You could use your front arm, the arm that's not holding onto your ankle. So for me, that's my left arm. You could use your forearm as a pillow, maybe resting your forehead there. Or if you would like to be a little bit closer to your ankle, to your leg, you could always prop up on your left elbow or your right, depending on which side you are holding on to. And that can kind of take some of the strain off if you need a little bit more slack. And if grabbing your ankle is just not available today, that's okay. You could simply just, with your muscles, with your engagement, just draw your heel back toward your glute. And we'll be here for the next 4 rounds of breath. Noticing if there's any sharp pains or pinching in your knee, the knee that's bent. And if so, You might consider releasing that stretch, because if there's any pinching or searing pain or anything like that, it's usually a sign from our bodies that something isn't aligned correctly, or maybe your body just isn't ready for this stretch in this moment. So paying attention to how you feel. Does it feel welcome? Does it not? And releasing if you need to. And be here for one more breath. If you're ready to release this side, you might let go and just allow your leg to stretch out. Pausing here. Noticing any difference between the right side of your body compared to the left side of your body. Knowing that comparison comparison can be done through a lens of curiosity rather than a lens of judgment. And if you're ready for the next side, you might draw your opposite heel toward you, maybe reaching back. You could leave your forehead resting on your arm, or you could always prop up onto your front elbow. You choose. What does your body need today? What do you need to make this shape your own? And another 3 rounds of breath. One more. You might decide to stay here longer, or if you're ready to release, you could allow your leg to straighten out. And just observe how you feel here, between your left and your right leg. And then we have 2 options. If you would like to roll over and meet me on the back, you could. Or if lying on your back is not welcome to you today, you could find a seated shape. So there's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of what is going to serve you best in this moment. So if you want to roll over onto your stomach, you could. Maybe even taking a moment to support your lower back by bringing the knees in toward your chest and maybe rocking from side to side for just a moment. And then if your lower back is feeling a little tight or just uncomfortable, if you have your legs lying straight out, it might be helpful to either place a bolster underneath your knees, or you might even keep your feet planted on the floor. I like to allow my hip flexors to really relax here, and so in order to do that, I take my feet out to the very left and right edge of my yoga mat, and then I allow my knees to fall in toward one another so that your leg muscles don't have to do much work if your feet are planted on the floor. So here's one option, or a couple options rather, if you want to lie on your back. And if you don't want to lie on your back, you could always find a seated shape, maybe using a bolster or even the wall back behind you to support your back so that you can enter into a state of relaxed awareness. So setting up however you want to, however you need to. And we'll begin to move into our time of guided meditation. So first, making any adjustments. And then beginning to bring all of your attention into where your body is touching whatever is supporting you. So if you're lying on your back, you might feel your yoga mat beneath you. Maybe there's a yoga blanket or just a blanket lying on top of you if you want some extra covering or warmth. If you are in a seated shape, you might feel whatever you are sitting on. Maybe there's a wall behind you supporting you. And then bringing your awareness deeper into your body. Noticing how you feel after your movement. And then shifting even deeper still into your breath. And just feeling and watching your breath flow in and out for about 3 rounds. In your mind's eye, if you are lying down, you might imagine a blue sky overhead. And if you are sitting up, you might imagine that you are sitting maybe on a hill or somewhere that you can gaze forward in your mind's eye and see a blue sky straight ahead of you. So bringing this blue cloudless sky to your mind's eye. Noticing that this sky is your mind. It is your field of awareness. And you are in the seat of the observer. So you are not the blue sky, but you are watching the blue sky. You can see the sky. And each time a thought passes into your awareness, you can see a cloud pass through the sky. You are not the cloud. You are not the sky. You are simply watching the cloud, the thought, pass through. So allowing for these next few moments, we'll be here for about 20 to 24 breaths. Each time a thought passes through your mind. You might even identify it with thought or cloud. Maybe saying the word to yourself in order to identify, oh, a thought that just passed, and I am not that cloud. I am not that thought. It's just passing through. I don't have to become attached to it. Anytime you find yourself identifying with the thought, come back into that place where you are lying or sitting, looking up at the blue sky, watching the thought pass. Anytime you leave the seat of the observer, you leave the awareness of the blue sky and the clouds, just come back. No judgment, no criticism, just coming back. About 3 or 4 more rounds of breath here. Now beginning to release that image of the blue sky and the clouds, and slowly coming back into awareness of your body, breathing, supported by the floor, maybe the wall, or any of your props. Feeling those props beneath you. And noticing how you feel. What is the overall state that you are in? And if you'd like, you might bring to mind the affirmation for this session. I am not this next thought. I am the field of awareness this next thought passes through. So anytime, either on your mat or off of your mat, your thoughts begin to take over and get a little bit jumbled and perhaps loud, you might return to this practice of seeing the blue sky off in the distance, remembering that you are not the clouds that pass through the sky. You are not this next thought. You are the field of awareness, watching your thoughts pass through the sky. If you'd like, you could continue to stay in this time of rest for as long as you want. There's no rush to move away from it. Or if you're ready to close out your practice, you might join me with bringing your hands to heart center and taking an exhale out. Option to join me for a breath in. I hope that you feel safe, connected, and at home in your body. Thank you for joining me.